Okay, so what we've done in other videos is we covered the upper body, the neck, shoulders, arms, chest, lats, triceps. We did the legs, we broke those into hamstrings, and then the rest of the leg. Right now I want to show you some stretches of the lower back. These are really important, okay? On top of the stretches that I showed you for your hamstrings, which will, as you stretch your hamstrings, directly affect the tension in your lower back. These are a few stretch combinations that I like to use to work my back, and I'm going to do them in succession. Okay? So what I do is I basically take one leg on my sticky mat, cross it over, okay? Take the other hand like this, and then twist. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And on my exhale, I twist again. Okay, that works part of my lower back, the twisting mechanism. Okay, from here what I do is I lay down and I take my hands and I literally put them on my thighs. I take a deep breath in, and as I exhale, I'm pushing myself apart. I'm pushing my thighs, my pelvic area, the lower half of my body, apart from my upper half. While I'm doing that, I bring my head up, and that cracks some of my back. Bring it back down. So what this is doing right here is you're literally trying to separate your upper and lower bodies. And you're going to feel the stretch, particularly in your lower back. So again, you take a deep breath in, bring your feet together, let your legs drop open, and on the exhale, you push on your thighs, and you're pushing your lower half away from your upper half. Next, I bring my knees into my hands, and I just try and allow my lower back to loosen out by pulling up here, dropping it low. Drop legs off to one side. Drop legs off to the other side. And from here, I go back into that inversion where I take my feet, put them over my head, and stretch out. Now, at this point where I've stretched all my legs out, my lower half, I can start to pull on my feet, my calves, whatever, pulling my legs in as I'm slowly walking my vertebrae one by one down towards the ground. Imagine yourself as a backhoe, bulldozer, tank, whatever, anything that has treads. Okay? Think how those treads work. What happens is those treads move forward, link by link by link by link, and each time each link starts to fold flatter and flatter towards the ground. That's what I want you to visualize when we do this stretch. Okay? Final stretch, we come in, extend our toes out, push. We're working different parts of our back, depending on how far out we go. Come back in. Now, when we're in here, we grab our legs, I take the calves, and I apply pressure. And when I apply pressure, I'm pushing my calves basically diagonally back towards my pelvic area and towards the ground. What that does is it helps me stretch out different parts of my back as I go down. Okay. Now, what we do is, for last stretch, because we've actually worked on the groin area, it's loose. One stretch that I like to do that incorporates everything, I believe is a yoga move. This is a little more advanced. We come back up into the inversion, and we bring our legs into basically a cross-legged Indian position, and I rest my calf on my head. And what this does is I'm stretching out my groin, stretching out my back, I'm stretching out my piriformis, and I just stay here for a few minutes. Then what I do is I work my way back out. Careful, you don't want to put too much force on your neck. Again, I do that for the opposite side. You just want to make sure that your neck is well supported. You don't want to do this, and when you're loading your neck, being inverted, have any sudden moves that could cause a problem with the vertebrae or whatever. Okay, from here, stretch back out, and again down. Alright, now that concludes actually any kind of stretching that doesn't include props or necessarily anything to help get into the muscles. So right now we're done. We've done the back in this session, legs in other sessions, upper body. So that takes us through the part, so one more step before we're done, okay? You may want to, at some point, stretch your abdominal muscles out, okay? To stretch your abdominal muscles out, what we do is we come forward on the mat and put our hands out to the side and go upright like this. And the higher up that we look to the ceiling, the more we stretch out our abdominal muscles. So we can keep going higher. We can drag our body a little bit across the ground. As we do that, what happens is it starts to strengthen, or not strengthen, but to stretch out our abs. And again, we push up. When we're done stretching our abs, we want to follow up, since we've done a back bend, we've actually compressed some of the spinal muscles. What we want to do is follow that up with basically something that would stretch the back in an opposite direction. So for instance, because I went off forward and I put a compression on the top of my back muscles, I want to follow it up with a stretch that will counter that, and that is going back into the inversion. Okay, so again, that's all the stretching that we do without any type of mechanism to get inside our muscles unnaturally. So try those stretches, okay, let them flow. Do them once a day, regularly. Again, make sure you warm up. So take a nice warm shower. Do some jumping jacks, do some running in place, high knees, some dynamic stretches like swinging the arms, do some kicks before we get started. Go through the procedure. Work your way from your head down, okay? So that means starting at the head, working all the way through, and that's it. And then what you can do is through the day, if you notice that you have particular areas that are tight, you don't have to do the entire sequence again, but say, for instance, that perhaps you might be getting some pain in between your intercostals, or in between your ribs, those are your intercostal muscles. You might want to try and just do some stretching of that area locally, where you don't have to do the entire sequence. So anyways, thank you very much for letting me show you my stretching routine. I hope this helps, and I will be trying to bring some other type of activities that can help you release some of your fibro pain in the future. Thanks. Good luck.